welcome back to another episode of our Bridgesimton series. We are here with the Bridgerton family, and we are picking up where we left off with them. And as we know, they are just trying to carry on. She is obviously taking care of her boys as a single mom. She is down to only having 2 sons, and she is a dog breeder. We do have our 2 puppies that we are trying to raise up, and hopefully we'll be able to get them sold. And we are just going to be continuing on with this family. She is trying to get her boys raised up so that they can age up into teens and become eligible for the marriage market. And it is currently pretty late in, well, I think early really in the morning. So I'm going to let them go ahead and go inside and kind of just take care of some of their own needs. Probably let them maybe go on in and just get a little bit of rest here. It looks like Colin is just kind of out here standing by himself, and it looks like he is actually in the process of being kidnapped. The random selection role for this family for this episode was that someone in the family needed to be kidnapped, and when I rolled for that, he was the person that needed to be kidnapped. And so he is currently in the process of being kidnapped, and as we know, the mom, Violet, is none the wiser that this is happening to Colin, and I think that she's going to be pretty shocked when she finds out that her son is being kidnapped, and it's going to bring a lot of pain and suffering on the family, and she's going to have to figure out what she can do with getting him back. And I think that obviously this family is going to go through a lot of turmoil when it comes to trying to figure out how to return him to their household. And we'll have to find out if the kidnappers are going to request for a ransom or how Violet is going to be able to approach that. But as you can see, he is currently being approached by the kidnapper now, and they are currently stealing him from the residence, and he is being kidnapped. Now, I am unfamiliar with this kind of mod and what happens here, but it does look like it says it killed him. So I don't know if we will actually be able to bring Colin back to life, but it's telling me that Colin has passed away. They were just supposed to kidnap him, and they were supposed to ask for a ransom, but now it's showing that he's deceased and he's no longer part of the family. And so now everybody's kind of really sad, not only because he was kidnapped, but also because he is deceased. And so everyone in the family is feeling, pretty terrified over the fact that he was kidnapped, but also, mourning the loss of Colin. And I think that, Violet is struggling with the fact that she has now lost one of her boys, and she doesn't really know what she's supposed to do. I am, though, going to have her come on out here, and she is going to speak with her other son, and we are going to have her just kind of give him a little bit of a hug and try to comfort him. I think he is really upset by the fact that his brother is gone, and she is down to 1 son. I think she's just going to tell him, I am so glad that I have you, and I really cherish you, and I will, promise to always kind of take care of you, and I'm going to do everything in my power to kind of get your brother back. I don't really know what is going to happen, but I just, I want you to know that we're going to make it. Everything's going to be okay. And I don't know if her son really believes that, or if he is, really worried about the fact that this has happened. But I think that this whole family is really just distraught right now over the events that have kind of taken place. And they weren't really expecting these turn of events to happen. They were kind of in their own little bubble here, just trying to get themselves skilled up and carrying on with their everyday lives, and with raising up and breeding their animals and learning how to kind of carry on. And now they've lost a brother and a son, and life has drastically changed for them. But I am going to go ahead and have Violet just tell him to go ahead and get himself off into bed. Everyone's going to go and try to get themselves a little bit of rest here. And then in the morning, we will see if we can maybe hear from the kidnappers and find out if there is anything that we need to do in regards to a ransom. And if there is, we'll have maybe Violet be able to meet up with them to pay a ransom, and hopefully we can find out about getting Colin back from the kidnappers. So we're going to send everyone off to bed here and let them just get a little bit of rest. So she's like, I know that you're really upset. I know that it's going to be very difficult for you to go to sleep knowing that you're terrified of the kidnappers, but I don't think they're going to come back tonight. I don't think they're going to try to come after you. So do please try to go upstairs, try to get some rest. And as soon as I hear from them, I am going to do everything in my power to get your brother back. But for now, we just both need to go in and we need to get some rest and we need to try to make the best of this situation. So it does look like the kidnappers have gone ahead and they've tried to reach out to her. So we are going to try to accept this ransom call and see if we can get her to speak with the kidnappers and if she'll be able to go ahead and discuss maybe meeting up with them to take care of the ransom. So once she's able to get some rest, she's going to contact the kidnappers and just tell them that she would like to meet up with them to take care of the ransom, and hopefully we will be able to get our son back. And hopefully when she meets up with them and she pays that ransom, we'll be able to find out if Colin is able to be brought back to life. I don't really know how that's going to work, but I'll see you when everyone wakes in the morning. Okay, so we did get a message from the kidnappers. They are asking for a ransom here. We are going to go ahead and say that we will pay for the ransom, and we are going to have Violet pay that ransom. She's going to go ahead and travel over to where Colin and the kidnappers are, and we will be able to rescue our kidnapped Sim. We have arrived here at the kidnapping site, and we are just going to go ahead and we're going to see that Colin is here. He is obviously no longer living. She is just going to go ahead and pay the kidnappers and see if we can revive him by paying the ransom. And hopefully it will pay, by paying the ransom will bring him back to life. That is our goal here. We definitely want him back living with us, and you know, so she's trying to save him. She promised her son that she would do everything in her power to bring him back, and it does look like that has worked. Colin is back living again and part of our home, and she is thrilled about the fact that she was able to save him and that he is going to be able to come back home with her. She is going to love him, and she's going to give him this big hug and welcome him back home. And she has rescued her son from the kidnappers, and she is feeling just very enthused over this, and she is really grateful that she was able to save him. Thankfully, they did have enough money for her to be able to pay that pretty sizable ransom, and she was able to bring Colin back to life. And so she's thrilled about the fact that she was able to, you know, swing that cost so that she could bring him home. And so now they're going to be able to go home, and she's going to promise to watch over him a lot more closely. I think at this point she'll probably, you know, be a little bit more strict with what they do and where they go and who they talk to. And I think she would kind of become one of those helicopter parents that is going to really watch her children with a hawk's eye, because she's going to worry that her children, something could happen to them. So we have arrived back here at the residence. We are just going to go ahead and let Violet go on in. She's going to check in on her sons and make sure everything's okay with them, and then I'm going to queue up for her to go ahead and get herself something to eat. She is feeling pretty hungry, and it has been an extremely taxing morning on her, having to deal with kidnappers and trying to rescue her son. And so now that she knows that everyone is okay, I think that she is going to be able to calm down a little bit and just be able to kind of get back into a little bit of their routine. Colin is here. He's just doing a little bit of his writing and things, but as you can see, he is really banged up from the kidnappers. They really did a number on him, but he's really grateful for his mom for saving him and for coming and rescuing him. So I do think that they are going to have a little bit of a closer relationship now, because he is really feeling indebted to her for everything that she's done for him. So I think that we are going to see their dynamic change quite a bit. I'm also going to get his brother to come on in here and maybe get himself a little bit of a nap because he is quite tired. I don't think he was able to sleep very well the night before because he was just really concerned over the fact that his brother had been kidnapped, and because of that he is, he just wasn't able to get any rest. I think he was really concerned that the kidnappers were going to come back and potentially take him, and so he wasn't able to get himself really any sleep. So we are just going to have, I think it's Benedict is his name. We're going to have him go ahead and go on in there and get himself a little bit of rest. And then he will be able to, feel a little bit better after he's able to finally get a little bit of sleep. Now that Colin has returned, I think everyone can kind of get themselves into a place where they can start getting back into a little bit of a normal routine. We'll have them work on a little bit of their skills and just work towards a normal day in their life where they work on their skills, they play with their animals, and they try to take care of things just on their normal, regular, daily basis kind of things. And obviously, the boys are still quite young. They still have several bit of time here before they're going to be able to age up into a teen. And obviously, once they age up into a teen, they will have to start working on their skills to try to get them ready for the marriage market. And that is a little ways away. So right now they are just, working on some skills just to try to better themselves as children. But they do have quite a ways before they're going to be teenagers, before they actually have to really even worry about maxing their skills out to become eligible for the marriage market and trying to find eligible bachelorettes and those kind of things. So this family is pretty far away from the marriage market and finding themselves eligible people to kind of make matches with. So in the meantime, Violet is just trying to make sure her boys are well-rounded, and she is working towards getting those puppies aged up so that we can go ahead and hopefully get them sold to some people in the community. And once we sell those off to someone in the community, there is a potential that we'll be able to go ahead and have our dogs breed again, and we can have some more puppies in the family. So that will be really nice. So we are going to let them just continue on with that. Now, that being said, there isn't really a whole lot of other things going on in this family. Obviously, we, no longer have Edmund around. And so Violet does have her hands pretty full taking care of the boys and the dogs. And, that's why she is kind of really upset with herself that she allowed her children to be kidnapped. Obviously that was out of her hands, and really she could not have foreseen that coming, but I do think that she probably beats herself up about that a little bit. But we are so glad that Colin is back. We are just going to let him get a little bit of sleep as well. He's feeling pretty tired, and everyone now is just going to get themselves a little bit of much needed rest. It's been a really long, emotional evening and day, and everyone's going to get themselves just a little bit of a nap here. And I'll see you when everyone wakes up. So we do have Benedict up. He is just getting a little bit of reading in. He is working on trying to build up some of his skills, which is fantastic. He obviously is the older of the two boys. Clearly, he's still feeling a little bit sad because technically his brother had died for that short period of time. I'm probably going to take that moodlet away because his brother didn't actually die. He was kidnapped, and that was just like a short buff there. But his brother has returned safe and sound. So I probably will take that away. But he is currently just getting a little bit of reading in, and once he is done with that, I'll probably let him go ahead and work on a little bit of other skill building. Maybe he can go ahead and work towards dealing with some of the puppies and building up a little bit of a friendship and relationship with them, and maybe teaching them even to go out and go potty and things like that. Violet is currently just in here working a little bit on some writing and things and trying to build up her own kind of skills. And we absolutely love that for her because obviously the more skills that she has, then she can mentor her sons. And I'm going to get Colin to come in and just do some imagination skill, and then he can deal with some of the puppies as well. And that I think will be great. So as you can see, the whole family does kind of get involved with these puppies and their raising, and Obviously, the boys can't really deal with the whole breeding aspect, but once the puppies are here, the boys do get involved with the raising of the puppies and making sure that they're taken care of and they are socialized with, and they make sure that they help with the feeding of the dogs, as well as making sure that they go outside and they use the bathroom and that they get potty trained and things like that. So everyone in the family does, make sure that they have a hand in the aspect of the dog breeding and raising of these puppies so that they can make sure that they are, well-trained animals that they're going to be able to sell for top dollar to the people out in here in the community, so that they'll obviously make a good profit here, because this is, as we know, become their family business, because Violet doesn't have a job outside of the house other than their dog breeding is technically the way they make their money. So we are just going to have them work on dealing with some of these animals here while Violet is working on her riding skill. So that's perfect for them. And I do think, though, I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Bridgesimton challenge, where we are going to be with our next family and we'll be seeing what they get up to in this challenge. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.